Hello, my dears. This is Resilient Lives, touching base with you after the weekend. I certainly hope that your weekend went well. The weekends tend to get busy with so many different things going on in our lives. But I'm trusting that you're doing well. All is well here. We are still seeking to thrive. We're on this journey together. And so just want to make sure that we're all on the same page, because in Chicago, because of the high numbers that are surging there and over cities and states all over the states practically, the numbers are surging and they're starting to do restrictions again, and they want people to stay home. That's what they're saying in Chicago. Only go out for what you really, really, really need. We haven't had that happen since almost the beginning of this pandemic. So that's disappointing, but necessary. So hopefully in your area, you know what's being required and you will stay safe, because we want to thrive, flourish, and make it through this time. Now that means that holidays are going to be a little different, which saddens my heart, but you know, you're going to weigh, do you want to be safe and thrive and flourish, or do you want to do something that might be incur a little more risk? But I just wanted to remind you that there is hope. There is hope on the horizon. And just today, they announced a second vaccine. Last week, Pfizer had announced one vaccine that has 90% a good rate, and now we have another one, Moderna. I'm not sure the name, but the important thing is that progress is being made. So there is hope, and there is other excitement. There is the Spacecraft, which is interesting to know that you have a diverse group of astronauts who were flying, 27 hours or so to get docked out of space for months. But what struck me was the name of the spacecraft. And the astronauts dubbed the name of the spacecraft as Resilience. Of course, since this is Resilient Lives, it got my attention. But the reason they named it so is because recover, and they saw this as a mission that they would recover and all the different things that would. So it's just interesting to see that resilience is one of the things that they're thinking of as they devote their lives for the next several months in space, and they have that goal of resilience. We've been talking about resilience for the last months. You know, that's that ability to accommodate and adapt, and that's those are the skills that we've been looking at that are going to help us to keep going through all of the different uncertainties that happen in our lives. You know, it just seems like one day we're up and the next day we're down, or one day we have a team of people and the next day the team has been dismantled. We have job changes and losses, and it's just a constant flux that we're dealing with, and we have been learning to get adjusted to these changes, and just to think that the astronauts, I'm sure they know the significance of what they're doing, but they also know how things could happen. But if you keep that resilient mindset, that's a good way to look at things. That's what we've been doing. And when I was looking at resilience, it just seems like it's just out there. It's all around us. But I think it was in the Atlantic magazine, it was talking about the new national power. And it is resilience. Now, who would have thought that that would be the new national power? And it's because we as a nation have been going through so many changes. And so we, in the beginning, we probably looked at military powers or whatever, but now, as we even seek to find a vaccine, are we going to be able to join with other countries and share our knowledge? Are we going to be on the offense or the defense? And so the pandemic, which has put us into this virtual way of thriving and coming together, the pandemic has taught us some new ways, but the pandemic has revealed a new form of national power. And that's interesting because, we were just zoomed in on ourselves, our vital friends, our way of looking and being in the world, and our way of accommodating and dealing with all of the things that are going on. And we realize that together is healing. But to think that the new national power is resilience, it's meaning that even the country, the world is having to learn how to deal with crises and how to recover. And I just thought that was interesting because they're learning they're trying to learn to do what we have been doing as individuals. So I would hope that as we prepare to hunker in, that we will continue to look at those tools that we have that helps us to recover and rebound and to deal with the challenges that our occupations, our individual relationships, and all of these things that happen in our lives that make us feel like we're slipping, like we're slipping off of the balance beam that we talked about. We can't all be Simone Biles and walk on that balance beam, but we do realize that if we slip, we can get back on there, because resilience is all about recovering and rebounding, accommodating. And just to think that we as a nation, we have the opportunity to see how this national power is playing out on a larger scale. But we must zoom back in and remember to continue to flourish and thrive, because we are going to have some challenging days ahead, but we can do it. We've come this far, and we certainly can continue, knowing that there's going to be ups and downs, but we have managed it to this point, and we certainly can continue along this path. So know that I love you. I send some energy your way, and I certainly hope that you're beaming some back at me as we are kind of doing this energy ball exchange, knowing that stuff is going to happen, but we're getting there. We don't have a date, an assigned date, but we know that we're gonna make it. So as we look at the spacecraft resilience, and we look at how we're going to make it through. There's hope. There's hope in the air. So take care, and we'll be talking again another time. Bye-bye.